Hey, what's going on, guys? Kalamazi here, and this video is going to be the War Within Beta Demonology Warlock, I guess, summary overview kind of video. I wanted to make it for about a week or so now. Demonology is still bugged on beta in a bad way, where it's doing less damage than it should, but I think I can make it work enough in this video to show you all how it functions and all that, and to fix the bugs, to, hey, well, make a new video or cover it somewhere else. A couple of things before we get too far in the video here, though. One, I mentioned it in the last video as well, but the War Within Warlock beta spreadsheet is indeed live now. If you guys would like early access to that, the tier 3 failure guard rank of Patreon or higher does indeed get early access to that. But in general, if you want any of my week wars or add-ons from beta or even retail, links to Twitch and Discord down below, you can get them all for free. Got a lot of questions about that in the last video. Also, a bit of a change of, I guess, pace. Pretty cool sort of announcement today. I was actually nominated by, I guess, you guys for Content Creator of the Year in the first annual MMO Awards, which is awesome. I found out today, which is very cool. I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I am eternally grateful, and thank you all a million times. There is open voting now. There are a lot of awesome creators here in general for it. Community organizer, Cosplayer of the Year, Content Creator of the Year. If you guys want to vote for anybody, whether it's me or somebody else, but if you want to vote for me or anybody, all you got to do is go to MMOawards.com and actually write in the content creator's name here, which you can write my name or somebody else also who has been nominated. But regardless, if you want to vote, it would mean the world to me, because that's super cool. And in general, for those of y'all that voted for me for this, I wasn't even aware of it. Thank you all a million times. I really appreciate it. That's super sick, and it made my night on a relatively sad day. So I appreciate it. If y'all want to vote, feel free. But at the same time, regardless, thank y'all a million times. Voting ends July 5th. I'll link it in the description as well if you guys want to click a direct link to that. So now, with that being said, let's get into the rest of the video. So when we start to look at breaking down Demonology Warlock and War Within Beta, there are a handful of builds I want to show you here. Single target cleave, and then AOE M+ build. But there are some variations of those builds I want to show you here as well, but they're bugged, so keep that in mind. Now, when it comes to single target, this is roughly, not here, this is roughly where I've been sitting in a single target kind of setting. I mean, unfortunately, well, I guess unfortunately, when you're playing Demonology, you are indeed pathing into Implosion off the bat here in top part of your tree. Just is what it is. I get that some classes have AoE baseline, some don't. I don't know, but Demo doesn't. It feels good either way, and honestly, a lot of times in single target-esque fights, I want like a light cleave profile with Implosion and things in general, so I'm okay with that. Spy for Recon gives you a chance to summon an imp. It's actually not terrible in single target. And then besides that, normal things, Dreadstalkers, Carnivorous, Demonic Strength, Soul Strike, and Defel Invocation. Inner Demons, Rune of Shadows. You've got Wicked Maul over here, which does indeed increase Tyrant, Demon Fire damage. Grimoire Felguard, Demonic Tyrant, Power Siphon, Expendables. You have Tyrant going into Ring of Tyranny here, being a 1 minute cooldown, which is very, very cool for those who haven't seen Demonology yet. War Within, Minute Tyrant is back with Reign of Tyranny. Now, important to point out here, Reign of Tyranny gives you a max of 15 imps in your Tyrant. You can get extended up from 10. 10 is without Reign of Tyranny, 15 is with Reign of Tyranny, and you're going to play Reign everywhere. So, important to keep in mind, you can get 15 and not 10, like retail now, playing 2 minute Tyrant and not Reign of Tyranny. Besides that, playing Grimoire, playing Fell Sunder, I do want to play Fiendish Ablation, but I don't think it's incredibly impactful. I could be wrong. If they change it to give you a Demonic Core when you summon your Grimoire and not when it expires, I would definitely play it for Tyrant setup, so on and so forth. But with it being this way, I'm sort of on the fence about it. Might be worthwhile. Not really sure. No Blood Invocation, just sort of mediocre. This only affects Demon Bolts from Power Siphon, not all your bolts. Now, when it comes to the bottom talent points here, we're playing Umber Blaze, the path into Pact of the Mother here. So some things are bugged and some things are undertuned. Now, when it comes to the Doom side of the tree, Doom is basically our tier bonus from S3 and S4 in retail. When you cast Demon Bolt, it applies Doom. I think I even call it Doom. It applies Doom, and casting more bolts will indeed reduce the duration of all the active Dooms on all targets by 2 seconds playing baseline Doom, and 4 if you're playing Doom Eternal. You can buff Doom's damage here and have it summon an imp whenever it expires and impending via impending Doom, and then you have Pact of the Aerodrome, which summons a Doom Guard that casts Doom bolts. He does not volley them. It's only in single target, only 1 bolt, which I'd like the Volley to be back. Not really sure if they want to have it just like a single target kind of thing versus like AoE effects of Doom leading into this. I'm not really sure. But either way, be cool with Volley, but it is what it is. Doom and is currently bugged on dummies. It's not applying every demonic core cast. It's applying like every other demonic core. Sometimes you cast a core, it won't apply. Doomguard rarely spawns on dummies. It spawns a lot in raid testing and in dungeons, like 1 and 2 Dooms, I believe, procs one, but not on dummies. So can't really show you that here, unfortunately. Going over here, though, so we're playing Pact of the Antmother, RNG. If you get good procs in your first tyrant, you can get 15 imps in it. Otherwise, you know, in general, it makes life a little easier for later tyrant setups and just, well, in general, more imps better. Vile Fiend is being replaced by Summon Gloomhound down here, obviously. Vile Fiend leads into... excuse me, purple and red dog. I think it is weird you can sort of path around Vile Fiend and just go like this into dogs, but hey, that's just, I guess, pathing. I'm not sure. But either way, playing Vile Fiend, playing in Tauren, and then things get a little more interesting the lower we go here. So you've got Flame Touch, which increases damage of dogs and their crit strike chance. You've got Foul Mouth, which increases Vile Fiend's damage, or basically your dog damage here. Sack Souls is multiplicative, which is definitely worth taking with Shadow Bolt memes. You've got Purple Dog in single target, Red Dog in AoE, and then we're playing Improved Demonic Tactics here. You can play either or. I think this is probably better than playing Brutality. You're playing Immutable Hatred. Hatred is very bad with Demonic Core economy being nerfed a lot. So it was like 1.5% of my damage in single target testing. Not good at all. I had the point here, but with this being bugged, it's sort of awkward not playing either part of your capstones, hoping it's buffed at some point. There's that. Now, I do want to point out I'm not playing Dread Calling here. I can pull Sunder and put it in Calling. Not sure which is better. Maybe Calling is better than this, but this is rank 1 Calling value. I don't believe Shadow Touch is very good, and unfortunately Houndmaster's Gambit, which I think is the glue that holds the dog build together that I want to play, has been bugged since day 1 of alpha, and it is not working. So when it's fixed, it should be much stronger, and we can look at dog builds in a single target, maybe like foregoing certain elements over here, but until it's fixed, unfortunately, it is what it is. Now keep in mind, it says your Dreadtalkers deal 50% increased damage, Dread Bite, melee damage, all that stuff, when your Vile Fiend is active. Vile Fiend being basically these dogs. These dogs are a half-minute cooldown like Vile Fiend. They last 15 seconds baseline. Say it here. Does it? Well, there. Look at there. Right? And they're extendable by Tyrant. So every other dog will be half a minute long. And the dog past that, if you cast on cooldown, will last 15 seconds, meaning 45 seconds every minute they're active. So your dogs are doing a lot more damage quite often due to how active these things are, with Tyrants being a minute, so on and so forth. But with this being bugged, we can't test that build out. So we're going to look at this stay in single target and go from there. When it comes to a single target cleave build, some things change here. We are playing, let me just save this build. I know what I changed. We're going to save this build. Oh, we changed that. Sure, I'll put it back over there. It's fine. When it comes to AoE, so we are playing a few different talents here. We are grabbing Dreadlash. Sorry, let me backtrack here. I'm not going to edit this out because it's 2 in the morning, but let's look at the single target cleave build, and then we'll go to AoE. Single target cleave build. I am indeed playing Imperator here, which comparatively to the single target build, we are also playing, but we have some more cleave-based elements, right? If you swap back a single target here, you can see these change and this changes, right? Now I am playing this over here in cleave build, sort of whatever other way. You can play either or. I think this is likely a little better than Brutality, but they both path over here into Hatred, and that's what works. Now besides that, we are not playing Umbral Blaze and Pact of the Antmother. We are playing Dreadlash, and we are playing, I believe the other talent we grabbed here, I think it's, let me take a look here. What else did we grab here? So many different builds here, honestly. Oh, we grabbed this called Dreadstalkers, like Empowerment, right? Which I think is worthwhile in a stacked single target base build like Dread Calling. You could indeed also grab Shadow Invocation here. I've seen some awkwardness with the proccing at times and not others as often as it does on retail in beta. So I'm sort of foregoing that now. We'll test it later on. I'd like to have Pact of the Antmother here as well in AoE, or I guess Cleave, but realistically, like, I don't know if Umbral Blaze and Pact are better than Dreadlash and Dread Calling when it comes to like ST Cleave based builds, right? So there's that. And these two are just sort of interchangeable, honestly. I don't know what's better. As far as AoE is concerned, shifting gears a bit more here, trying to go full AoE. Let's change this up a bit. We're still playing Purple Dog here for ST Cleave build, just to clarify. When we go to AoE, we are changing to Red Dog. I'm also grabbing Guillotine here over Immutable Hatred, still playing Dreadlash, still playing Dread Calling. We're also grabbing Shadow Invocation, going for that full AoE, just big damage build. Now, I have been debating pulling a point somewhere to try and get over here into Sack Souls, because Sack Souls is multiplicative, and with our stacking Shadow Bolt effects and things, with like, well, our tier bonus and all that kind of stuff being the way that it is, it's sort of like, why don't I have any pants on? I have no idea. With that being the way that it is, why am I missing a ring too? I don't know what happened to this character. Oh, I know what happened. I'm dumb. Point being, with Shadow Bolt being a big part of our tier bonus, increasing bolt damage, all that kind of stuff, it's likely worth grabbing Sack Souls even in these AoE builds. You're going to play in plus somehow. The question is, where do you get it from? And the answer might just be pulling from something like Felsunder, or maybe pulling from like maybe Shadow Invocation, going down here. Once again, Invocation's been a little funky when it comes to like proc rates and things on beta, from what I've seen. Very briefly here, Diabolus versus Soul Harvester. Soul Harvester is not very good, damage-wise, compared to Diabolus, mainly being Ruination Meteor from Diabolus being very strong, huge damage when it comes down. It is square rooted past 8, but it's still very strong. Overlord gives good value, Mother of Chaos gives good value, and it's very cool cycling these pets in that cyclical nature they have in dungeons and raiding, so on and so forth. Visually, Diabolus is very cool. Soul Harvester does have like a Doombrand-esque effect in Shared Fate, which is working currently on here. The damage seems a bit lackluster comparatively to Diabolus bringing those Ruination Meteors and just the Shard Gen, the extra pets, so on and so forth. The ritual cycling that I've seen in M+, but Soul Harvester gets, more on death effects, right? Demonic soul damage increased. The overhaul, the Shadow of Death, gives you 2 succulent souls whenever you Tyrant, basically. So it has value here, but the nerfs that hit Demonic Soul and Soul Anathema and all that really hurt Soul Harvester a lot, and I think have made it a decent bit worse than Diabolus. But regardless, let's look at him in combat and go from there. All right, so we are indeed looking at the single target build I showed y'all a moment ago here. We are playing Diabolus, Cruelty of Kirkzan, whatever his name is here, giving you shorter rituals, all that kind of stuff. Like I mentioned, this build, Reign of Tyranny in general, Minute Tyrant, you can get 15 imps in your Tyrant. Now, in your opener, it's going to depend on getting Pact of the Imp with the procs pretty much all the time if they fix the random cycling of demons with Diabolist. But outside of that, you can sort of get like 12-ish with relative ease and 15 with procs in every other Tyrant afterwards. If you hold your siphons, like your first siphon goes into your Tyrant on pull, like pre-siphon, then like it's like first, third, fifth, seventh, ninth, so on and so forth. Siphons you have to hold for your Tyrants because dogs don't give guaranteed cores back anymore. Very unfortunate, very sad. It is what it is. If they change this to give you a core when you summon your Grimoire, it'll help alleviate those issues a little bit, but still, in the end, it's what it is. So let's open up here. So I'll wait for imps to spawn. We got 2 imps here. I'm going to siphon, and we're going to head on in. So I'm going to cast a Shadow Bolt. Going to cast Grimoire. Cast Shadow Bolt again. It's going to Soul Strike. There you go. Cast my Purple Dog. There he goes. Cast Call Dreadstalkers. Cast a Demon Bolt to 5 shards. Hand. Bolt. Hand. I'm going to hand just one more time here because we're running out of time either way. Got a Tyrant, Potion, Trinkets, Demonic Strength, and go from there. Now, Pit Lord spawned there. He shouldn't spawn there. The way that Diabolus should work, it should be a guaranteed rotation of Overlord into Mother of Chaos into Pit Lord. But there's this weird thing I talked about yesterday in the feedback video where it's not always that way. If I go into combat, spawn a pet or whatever, like one of the 3 pets, like the Orphine first, leave combat, when I enter combat again, it'll be the next pet first. It'll be Mother of Chaos first. If I spawn both of them and then leave combat, I go into combat, it'll be the Pit Lord first. That needs to change, because if it's not, it'll be gamed for sure in a lot of settings, spawning the Pit Lord first because of what he can do to your opening Tyrant, giving you a free Ruination Meteor, which means more imps easily for 15 imp Tyrants, all that. That definitely needs to change. But either way, rotationally besides that, very simple. Gonna cast my dog on cooldown here. This is the one to go with Tyrant, basically. Cast a hand. We have a core proc here. Gonna cast actual dogs. Going to cast this. Cast a hand or bolt again. Why not? Do this. I'll ruinate all Infernal Bolts and Shards. And again, hope for Imp with a proc. We Did not get it, but it's okay. We got 12 in our Tyrant. Good enough. No big deal. I wasn't really paying attention either way. Once again, pump in here. There's the Pit Lord. Reanimation comes down. I'm going to Siphon here. This is the free Siphon between Tyrants. Got some shards there. Whatever, wasted a shard is what it is. Cast Hand. Very important here. Casting this dog on cooldown. If you hold it or miss it for a little while, it'd be an awkward resync with your Tyrant. Don't want to do that. So cast it on cooldown. Still cycling through here like retail. Same stuff. Casting 3 Demon Bolts. 3 shard hand to cooldown. So on and so forth. I have Tyrant here at about 30-ish. And my power siphon's sitting at 5 seconds. So as much as I want to siphon here at about now, I have to hold this siphon for my Tyrant because setup begins in about 8 seconds here, give or take, right? So we're going to build here. I'm going to cast Siphon, Grimoire, Shadow Bolt, cast Purple Dog, Shadow Bolt, wait half a second here, cast Red Stalkers, we're going to Bolt, we're going to Ruination, free hand and Gul'dan, perfect, going to hand twice, why not, cast a Bolt, do this, hope to catch these pets in time, did I catch them? I did, perfect, 13 imps, close enough, you can get 15 from paying more attention, but it's fine, and that's it. You keep cycling things, but you want to have those guaranteed cores for a Tyrant, so holding your Siphon is likely needed because of how often dogs don't keep getting cores back, which is very unfortunate gameplay. Don't like that amount of RNG, but in the end, RNG is RNG, and that's just the world we live in. So, I cast dog again here, basically on cooldown between my Tyrant, so 1 free dog is in there chomping. Let's leave combat here, look at the breakdown overall. So we have my main pet up here, doing very little damage with Immutable Hatred. It's important to point out, I forgot if I mentioned it at the start of the video or not, but our tier bonus is bugged. Legion Strike is not giving you this major bonus from our tier set. It's not working. The pet's being buffed. When it consumes the effect, it does not get the bonus of 300%. So this should be number 1, but it's not. It's bugged. So we're doing less damage than we should. But putting that aside, imps are here. Then you have Shadow Bolt at 13%, Demon Fire from Tyrant about 10. I've seen like 12% with more imps. Good RNG. PI obviously is actually very, very big for Demonology, and from what I've seen. Purple Dog 10%, Hand of Gul'dan, Dreadstalkers, Felguard being I think this is Grimoire. I believe this is my Grimoire. Ruination, the big Pit Lord Meteor. You can see how strong it is in general. Plus it brings 3 imps with it. It's a free hand Gul'dan, very, very strong. Infernal Bolt being the bolt you get from Mother of Chaos whenever it spawns. It empowers your Shadow Bolt. This is an embellishment. Umbra Blaze being pretty bad like always. Fellseeker from the Pit Lord being here, as well as the imps, I think, being calculated up here. But overall, I mean, the breakdown's like sort of similar to Demonology of retail. You know, your main pet, Felguard, Shadow Bolt being a bit higher, Tyrant's back doing damage again. PI seems very strong for Demonology as well in War Within. Again, because of Tyrant, Ring of Tyranny, more pets, Gloomhound cranks as well. It seems very, very strong for Demo. It's likely one of the better PI targets, but gotta wait for Sims and see where it goes. Also, PI means faster cycling of pets with Diabolus, which can make a big difference. So we'll wait on Sims and see where it goes, but that is Demonology in single target, playing Diabolus. Let's look at it briefly in AOE. All right, now I have swapped talents to the AOE build here. I mentioned at the start of the video, but I want to mention it again here briefly. This talent is currently bugged. If it was not, I'd certainly be playing it in AOE. It just doesn't work. I want to try single target builds with this as well, like single target playing Dreadlash and full dog amps, seeing where the damage is at whenever it's fixed. It has essentially a 79% uptime with how dogs and Vile Fiend and Tyrant all work now, but it's just bugged, not working. Doom was also bugged, not working on dummies very well. Doom Guard doesn't spawn very often, so when it's fixed, I'll probably make another video and show y'all. But I wanted to show you guys this video or show you Demonology. People have been asking about it, and well, you know, there's that. So. Say we're heading into a pack and plus or whatever, you know, I wait for imp to spawn, just normal resources, nothing crazy. We're heading in, you know, cast a Shadow Bolt, roughly like 5 shards, casting Grimoire, build the 5 again, give or take, a Soul Strike, casting Fire Dog here, we're playing Fire Dog, casting regular dogs, jumping in, gonna hand a couple times, hand bolt, just gonna hand here, trinket, potion, Tyrant, whatever, all that. Throw the guillotine down, can strength first too. Should strength first, honestly, for Spell Sunder application. I just hit the wrong button, but no big deal. Same thing, strength now. There's Spell Sunder. You want to do that and the guillotine instead, but once again, not the end of the world. Imps are expiring about now from Tyrant. I'm going to implode. Going to cast Dwarves. Going to cast Infernal Bolt for 3 shards here. Very important, watch your Fire Dog here. It's off cooldown. Cast it again, because if you miss that cast or sit on the cast for a while, you're going to lose the sync on your Tyrant. Going to implode now. Pit Lord's out. Big Ruination Meteor comes down. Big damage from the Meteor there, obviously. Besides that, we're just basically implosion cycling for the most part. I'm going to Siphon here. Cast Dogs. Going to implode. Build the 5 shards here. Implosion cycling is a bit odd. And cast Guillotine here as well, because you don't always get guaranteed cores back from your dogs. How many do I get here? They expire about now. I'm going to implode. I got 1 total back from that implosion, and my dog expiring. Pretty unfortunate, but you know, that's the world we live in. So, gonna cast Fire Dog here. Gonna cast regular dogs. It's got 6 into this Tyrant, not very good, but we can get more for paying attention. Tyrant again. Gonna cast Strength. My Trinket. Going here. Imps are extended with Tyrant being out, so don't need to implode yet. Still waiting. Renation's a free hand Gul'dan cast at 3 Imps. We're gonna do that. And again, gonna Siphon because why not? Tyrant's gonna expire, so our Imp's gonna expire too. Gonna implode now. The implosion. Cast dogs. We had Wake 'em While active there, so it's fine. Didn't need to cast dogs first. Building Imps again here. Setting up a minor implosion because once again we live in a world of RNG with not guaranteed core procs. Casting Guillotine. You can implode here and cast Fire Dog, whatever, but that's the gist of it. Very similar to retail, barring having your Fire Dog in, just less cores, so on and so forth. Now my pet is doing a lot of damage here, as we can see. Fellstorm doing a lot of damage. Fell Explosion from Guillotine. Explosion and Fiendish Wrath, like basically 7% combined, roughly, give or take, on 4 targets. Besides that, Hand of Gul'dan here, Dreadstalkers being these dogs, 12%, Charhound being Red Dog, being 11%, not too bad either. Implosion 9.1, Ruination Meteor being 5%. The max crit hit was 1.8 million, and that is not total, that is per target hit. I mean, to be fair, some hits can crit, some won't, but like it hit 1 target out of the 4 for 1.8 million. The rest can hit for what, 800k, 900k? So a good bit of damage. Tyrant being 4%, not that surprising in single target. I mean, or in AOE, I'm sorry, we're AOEing, all that. Besides that, Violence Forge Bombers being right here. Now, this is from Shadow Invocation. I'm not playing Bombers, obviously. I feel like this is a bit lower than what it is on retail when it comes to like testing on these dummies here. The way it works on retail, Hand of Gul'dan has a chance to proc Bombers whenever you can. You can proc Bombers via Shadow Invocation whenever you cast Hand of Gul'dan. The more targets your Hand of Gul'dan hits and splashes on, the higher the proc rate for Shadow Invocation. And like 4+ targets or 5+, it's basically guaranteed. It's like a 60% chance, even in single target, I think, roughly on retail. It's relatively high. But in like mass AoE, it's guaranteed. That's when you start those 1-shard Hand of Gul'dan cycles we talk about. We've talked about before, because of how strong Shadow Invocation is on retail. It seems to be a bit weaker here. I'm not sure, but I've tried it in mass AoE, and it's not what it used to be. Maybe it's had bad RNG, not really sure. I have to feel it out more and see where it goes, but honestly, Demonology feels very similar. Demonology of retail in War Within, but you've got Pit Lord spawning, you've got Overlord spawning, you've got Mothers of Chaos spawning, and the shard gen on cores feels awkward at times. Sometimes you get good RNG, have a million cores. Sometimes you get bad RNG and have none. And unfortunately, in a world where you have Hatred being, you know, fueled by demonic cores, and Doom literally being fueled by demonic cores too, can make things really good at times or really bad at times. I think dogs need to give guaranteed cores again, and you just nerf the imp, you know, despawn chance to give cores, something along those lines. But either way, putting that aside, Demo still feels good rotationally. Fun to play with Red Dog, Purple Dog. The tree paths relatively well. Some things he buffs here and there, but overall, Demo's fun. And Diabolus is sick. So thanks for watching, guys. Like always, wraps it up, and hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. Hopefully those that were looking forward to this video, it was relatively sufficient. I'm sorry Demo is bugged. I don't control the bugs, obviously. I want to show you a total working version of Demonology, but, you know, until we get the bugs fixed, this is the best that I can do. But even in the state that it's in, I think it's pretty fun. I've enjoyed playing it a lot. It's not as good as Destro or AF right now, but it's still solid. And tuning is just not really even happened yet. So I wouldn't worry about numbers right now. Worry about how the spec feels. And the good thing is that every spec for Warlock, I think, feels pretty good. So we will see where that goes. I mentioned at the start of the video, but I'll mention it again here. If you guys are interested in the Warlock War Within beta spreadsheet, it is indeed now live. If you guys want early access to that, the Tier 3 Felguard rank of Patreon or higher does indeed get that. There'll be a link up here as well as down below in the description. And also, just thank y'all in general a million times for all support on Patreon. I greatly appreciate y'all. Legitimately, thank y'all so much. Yeah, I appreciate it, like always. Any week cores or add-ons you want, also links to Twitch and Discord down below as well, where they're all for free for y'all. But yeah, so like I said, honestly, I want to try build out with Houndmaster's Gambit when it comes to like single target, playing Dreadlash and all that. I think the actual dog damage amp is really, really good, but unfortunately, it's bugged. With a 75% uptime, roughly, at least somewhere around there, maybe 70%, buffing your dogs by 50% and the modifiers are in the tree, it could be worthwhile. It could be good in single target, but you know, until it's bugged or the bugs are fixed, we don't really know. But you know, we'll go from there. Also, one more time, I'm gonna shamelessly plug this because I'm excited about it. I found that about half an hour ago. We have indeed been nominated for the actual MMO awards for Content Creator of the Year. I don't know which one of y'all voted for me. It's got to be one of y'all. I didn't vote for myself, but I swear. But guys, thank y'all a million times once again. If you guys, so we're in the stage 2 voting now. If you guys want to vote directly, like for the winner, whatever, MMOawards.com. You can just type in the nomination here. You have to type the name. My name is Kalamazi. You can type whoever you want. Realistically, if you want to vote for me, that's how you got to do it. Voting ends on July 5th, which is in, I think, 5 days from now. I think it's the last day of the month. If you guys want to vote for that, hey, that'd be awesome. It would make my day. Just in general, once again, I greatly appreciate all support for everything. YouTube, Twitch, just in general. Y'all are awesome. Never thought in my wildest dreams I'd be where I am today. So it's crazy, and I appreciate it, and I appreciate y'all. So, all that being said, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and sub buttons below. It helps out a ton. And like always, I will catch you all again soon on stream. Peace.